This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
What's going on, Tuscaloosa, West Alabama? How are you doing on this Thursday night? I am back. We had an episode about a couple hours ago talking Alabama basketball, a little bit of Ryan Grubb, and we talked about Brad Bohannon. But I am back on a Thursday night because I'm joined by a very special guest today, so I don't want to make anybody wait. We are being joined by Amari Jefferson, four-star wide receiver out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, Baylor High School, Mr. Football in the state of Tennessee. And he just took another visit to the University of Alabama. So I wanted to catch up with Amari and see how really, the last time we heard from you, Amari, on the show was in the summertime. We want to catch up on the football season a little bit and just really see how life's been going. Amari, thanks for your time, man. How are you, sir?
Doing good. How you doing?
Oh, very good. I'm digging the flag in the background. You gotten pretty loaded up on some Alabama swag since you signed in December?
Oh, for sure.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. That's great. What's maybe your favorite piece of you're breaking it out of the closet? You're like, oh, I love when I wear this.
I got a zip up hoodie. That's it's got like the old kind of like the same one right there. It's kind of sweet. So.
Well, I love the older logo. The script day is cool, yeah, but
Yeah.
I love the elephant coming through. I think that's a badass
sure.
logo. Amari, you were in Tuscaloosa this weekend with Steve Mbuamua and Rico Scott for, did I say his last name correctly? Is that how you're saying it? Mbuamua?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, just want to be respectful of everybody. How was the official visit? I mean, you've been to Tuscaloosa a bunch of times, so it wasn't anything new, but a bunch of new faces. How was the weekend?
Yeah, the weekend went great. Just first time getting down, getting to meet the new staff in person. So it's definitely different than being on the phone with them. But I'd say in a good way, just getting to see their energy, their passion for the game. Just how they work together as a coaching staff and stuff like that. You can tell why they won at Washington and really everywhere they've been.
Well, you're in town this weekend because when there's a coaching change, the NCAA permits all the prospects to take another official visit if they so choose. Why don't we back up to January, Amari? Golly, I was sitting in this very seat when Chris Lowe's tweet came through that Nick Saban retired. How freaking wild was that for you? I mean, you're much more involved than I am. Take us through your emotions over the last couple of weeks. You got that news probably on Twitter or a friend or a parent, however you got that. And then you're like, what?
Yeah, pretty shocked, to be honest. Just, he came and visited me really like, I'd say 2 or 3 weeks before, and then the whole time throughout the process, like you just never, like I never thought I figured he'd be close to the end, probably my sophomore year, junior year, something like that. It was real shocking just to see him go. And then especially I was like working out and my weightlifting coach actually came up to me and was like, hey, I don't know if you've seen, but there's reports going out about Saban retiring. And I was just like, no way. Like this can't be true. It definitely hurts because me and Coach Saban had a really good relationship. He was really, I'd say, the key piece of why I chose Alabama from the start. It really did kind of hurt.
With that being said, and I think you're not alone in that, obviously Coach Saban was a huge, huge draw. Were there any you signed in December, but like a lot of the other signees, you had the opportunity to be released from your letter of intent. We've seen a couple of guys in the class, and we wish them well where they've landed. Was there thought process, or was there a discussion with your parents or with your close circle? Do I want to get released out of my LOI and maybe reopen this thing? How far did those thoughts go?
Yeah, we definitely had those discussions just as a family. We talked to the AD the night Saban retired, and he said just to give us 3 days before we start looking elsewhere. And, we kind of just we took more than those 3 days just because we wanted to get on this phone with the new staff, especially since I've already signed. I'm already technically an Alabama football player, so there's really nothing we could have done unless I got released from my letter of intent. But it just wasn't a safe choice to get released from our letter of intent that soon, especially not being able to meet the new staff, see who they bring in, and stuff like that. So we kind of just waited around, wanted to see and talk to them and stuff before we kind of made a decision.
Well, it seems like I'm just reading the tea leaves based on your official visit this weekend that you are still all in on the Crimson Tide. Correct me if I'm wrong. The flag kind of is an indicator there. What do you think of Coach DeBoer? Younger guy, offensive mind. He's a wide receiver like you are as well. What do you think of Coach DeBoer?
Yeah, I mean, I love Coach DeBoer. He gives off great energy. You can tell he cares about his players' line, and everybody that has been around him loves him. So, I mean, I have great things to say about Coach DeBoer. I'm excited to go down there and get to work with him and try to keep Bama at the standard that it's been at.
Absolutely, and his offense is pretty conducive for wide receivers. It seems like you saw Roma Dunes basically giving stamp of approval, saying go to for Coach DeBoer and Ryan Grubb if you want to be a wide receiver in the NFL. What have you seen? Have you had to spend some time in the looking at the offense, or were really some of those discussions happening over the weekend? And what did you see in the offense? Like, oh yeah, I can still be here and dominate, and play to the Bama standard, but also get myself to my own goals.
Yeah, I mean, I think really just the thing that sells their offense the most is just the product they put on the field. I mean, they had 2 guys over 1,000 yards this year. One guy who really they would have had another guy over 1,000 yards if he didn't get hurt. I mean, they've led the country in passing the last 2 yards. Just the statistics that they have just behind them, the stats that go behind them. I mean, really just the product they put on the field just shows why a receiver would love to play for Coach DeBoer.
And Coach DeBoer's bringing in Jamarcus Washington from Washington as well. What was your impressions of him? All I read is, oh, this guy's an up-and-comer. He's about to be a superstar in the coaching world. What was he like?
Yeah, I mean, I love Coach Shep. He's great. He's got a lot of energy. He's taught a lot of great receivers. And then a thing that we kind of got along with well is, it doesn't really matter what grade you're in or where you're coming from or whatever. Like, if you can play, you can play. He just gave a couple of different examples of freshmen going up that he coached, like Rondell Moore, David Bell, that went out there and had 1,400 plus receiving yards their freshman year. And then also the veteran guys that he's developed, just taking some of those guys at Washington game to the next level. So, I mean, it just shows kind of, the kind of coach he is.
Here with Amari Jefferson, 4-star wide receiver from Chattanooga, Tennessee, future Alabama superstar. Amari, you just said 1,400 yards, and I'm looking down at my notes. You had a pretty good year this year. 74 receptions, 1,400 yards, 20 touchdowns. Mr. Football in the state of Tennessee, 8 catches in the state title game, 210 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What was the key to the success? You and oh gosh. The coach at Georgia, his son is the quarterback.
Whit.
Thank you very much. Y'all were on point.
Yeah, me and Whit, we have a great relationship. Really just our connection from day one, I'd say, is just really been on point. I'm gonna miss getting to play with Whit next year. Great guy, great quarterback, even better person.
Much champ.
So I really think just the hard work we put in throughout the off season, throughout the year, just being close together as a team and stuff like that definitely helps. And then, just understanding your opponent and trusting your teammates and getting put in the right situation, to make those kind of plays. And ultimately you got to make them. So I think that's kind of just some credit to kind of how my season went.
Absolutely. Well, you obviously made a ton of plays and was named Mr. Football and had a hell of a state championship game all over the place. So you get to the Mr. Football kind of announcement, and it's you and teammate Max LeBlanc and a couple other guys. Take us through the moments where, and the 2023 Mr. Football is Amari Jefferson. I mean, I'm reading that you didn't really expect to win the award, maybe because of the field that you were in. What was it like when they called your name and gave you the nice trophy?
Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of expected to win, but you never know until ultimately they give you the award.
Yeah.
I mean, just there's a lot of great other players out for the award. Carson Gentle, Caleb Beasley. I got to go against those guys this year. I mean, they're great players. They're going to have a great future. So, I mean, just when you're up in the field with those guys, you never know. And so really just until they called my name, I didn't know if I was going to win or not. But, I mean, just a rush of excitement, I'd say. Just all the hard work that you put in and stuff like that. I mean, that's a lifelong memory that you get to hold on to, that no one can take away. and it's really a big deal. There hasn't been a Mr. Football at Baylor in a long time. Just being able to get that is pretty humbling.
It wasn't Willie Idlet in 2001 as Mr. Football, was it?
It was somewhere near there. Yeah.
Okay. Willie, I was a freshman, and he was, oh my gosh, an incredible quarterback playing for Baylor at that time. And I remember thinking that dude can freaking play.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about Max LeBlanc just real quick, just another high-profile recruit. I know a lot of people watching us are Alabama fans, perhaps, but paying attention to the rest of the landscape, you played with a pretty good player in Max LeBlanc. Are you guys going to be kind of not jawing, but kind of giving each other a hard time based on, hey, this is what I'm doing at Bama, this is what I'm doing at Ohio State, come on, step it up, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think, we kind of did a little bit of that during the football season. I kind of gave them a little bit of hard time when they lost to Michigan. And I guess that kind of backfired because we ended up losing to Michigan too. But I mean, I love Max, and ultimately, it's really just going to be a lot of friendly competition between the two of us. And I mean, I'm excited to see kind of what he does at Ohio State, and I know he's going to put the work in. He's going to have a great future. So I'm really just looking forward to watching him at the next level, and just being close, as good as friends as we are, and getting to be teammates the last 2 years of high school, and just a lot of the stuff we got to accomplish together, kind of going through the recruiting process together, winning a state, taking Baylor back to another state championship game. We got a lot of good memories and stuff like that. So I'm very excited for Max's future. He's a heck of a player.
Well, for those who don't know your story as well, the state championship game that you just played in is probably the biggest state championship game in Tennessee State in history. I mean, the crowd was absolutely insane. It did have to do with the great players, but big rivalry as well in Chattanooga. Result aside, just what was it like playing in that kind of an atmosphere in Finley Stadium, right there where UTC plays? For our viewers who don't know, it's a nice little stadium. Oh, just what was that atmosphere like with so much on the line, the heated rivalry, and just everything that went along with it?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It really just felt like everything just kind of matched up perfectly. I mean, you have Baylor McCallie in the city of Chattanooga for the state championship game. It really was all you could ask for. And really just the opportunity to be able to go out there and, try to win a championship, especially against our crosstown rival McCallie. I mean, that's really all you can ask for is just the opportunity. And, the outcome didn't come out how we wanted to and, stuff like that. But, I mean, just at the end of the day, you kind of got to be thankful for the opportunity.
You got to be thankful for the opportunity. And from my perspective, it seems like you laid it all out there. 8 receptions, you almost set a new state championship game record in receiving yards. So I don't think you have anything to be ashamed of, at least from my outside perspective here. With this visit this past weekend, was there anything different? Like, obviously, you took an official visit under the Coach Saban regime, and now the regime has changed. Was there anything different about the visit, whether it be a different restaurant or different activities, or was there anything that was like, oh, I didn't do this the last time I was here? Was there anything fresh or new on the visit?
I would just say it was kind of more like business a little bit, just because of the short amount of time we had. It was kind of just a Saturday visit. Yeah. So I think it was kind of more of a business trip, really. Just, trying to get down, meet the new coaching staff, see what their plan is for me, get to know them as well, stuff like that. So I'd say it was more about kind of like a serious visit, just because for me and my family, it was really a visit that was going to determine kind of what we did moving forward. So I think I'd say it is more of a serious visit.
Absolutely. Did you catch up with Rob Vaughn at all on Saturday?
Who?
Rob Vaughn, the baseball coach. I know you have baseball interests as well.
No, I didn't get to on Saturday, but I've been talking to a couple guys on the baseball staff. So,
baseball is getting underway, and for us, I think next week. No, it's the 14th. I think it's the 14th. How far away is Baylor? How far away are y'all from really getting rolling?
We're about 2 weeks out from starting real practice and about a month away from games. So
okay, and it's going to be another big baseball season for you. State championship aspirations in baseball as well.
Oh, for sure.
Well, tell me about Roll Tide Willie. I've seen Roll Tide Willie all over social media and with a lot of the recruits and a lot of the 2024s. And I met Roll Tide Willie last Wednesday. Funny dude. Have you met him? And if so or if not, what's your impressions of him?
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to meet him yet. I know he was down there with the guys today. So I mean, a lot of those guys that are on campus and stuff have gotten to meet him, but just I haven't been down there except for this past weekend, so haven't had a chance to meet him. But he's bringing a lot of excitement, to Alabama, especially with Coach Saban retiring. I think he kind of brought the mood up, and with Ryan recommitting again, and them two kind of helping it out. I think he's bringing a lot of excitement and joy back to Alabama, especially with the news of Coach Saban retiring.
Yeah, I was going to ask you: is Roll Tide who's the better recruiter, Roll Tide Willie or Jalen Mbakwe, for making sure that, for bringing Ryan Williams back into the fold?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the credit goes to both of them for sure.
Absolutely. What was your reaction? We were sitting there at the Iron Bowl of basketball in Coleman Coliseum, and the student section exploded because the tweet came out: Ryan Williams recommits. What was your reaction? I mean, obviously, more great receivers get you open, but it is competition as well. What's bringing Ryan Williams back into the class? What was kind of your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected it. I talked to Ryan a little bit before. I think we might end up being roommates, so we kind of talk on a good basis, and I kind of figured he was coming back to Alabama. I think his heart was always in Tuscaloosa, and just for him to come back and join this special class, I mean, it was exciting for all of us. He's a great player, great playmaker, so I mean, he's going to help out the team a lot.
We got to get some sort of a friendly Mr. Football in Tennessee, Mr. Football in Alabama rivalry. We got to get both guys over, big numbers, and which Mr. Football does better, and we'll be pulling for both. We were covering National Early Signing Day in December, and a lot of people were early enrolling. You told us last summer, I'm not early enrolling just because of Baylor's academics, and I want to compete in baseball as well. I was told, and correct me, but during National Early Signing Day, you were on a cruise?
Yeah.
In December? Yeah, tell us about the cruise. Where'd y'all go?
Yeah, we went to a couple places near the Bahamas. So it was my first time down in that area. So really just after a long season like that, we didn't really have time to take any vacations as a family. So it was kind of like our last family vacation before I kind of went off to college and stuff like that. So, I mean, really just after a long season and a long couple months of school back to back, it's kind of good to refresh and kind of get away from everything. So it was fun.
Yeah, what's it like as a high school senior? You're going every single week competing against high level teams on Friday nights, and then you're also balancing recruiting, and then you have a coaching change. Like December must have been bleeping crazy for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. December was a wild range of emotions. We just came off losing the state championship game to Macaulay, which was hard enough. Just all the stuff that went with that, and then we had exams coming a couple weeks later, and then just with Christmas and the New Year and stuff coming around, and then Alabama, they lost to Michigan, so that was kind of hard. Just watching those guys go out like that, and then the news about Coach Saban and Coach Wiggins left before that, and it was just kind of a lot in a month. So,
how much discussion or conversation are you having with the other guys in your class who have already enrolled? I mean, everybody's experiencing things differently from different perspectives, but you guys are all kind of together per se. The 2024s that early enrolled, they experienced the practices and the Rose Bowl loss, and then they were in those meetings. How much discussions are you having? And really, I guess the secondary question is, what's the mood of the incoming freshman class? Everybody still excited, apprehensive? What do you think about those topics?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's really excited. Just for the new opportunity with Coach DeBoer coming in. I mean, that ultimately, I think most of us wanted to go there and play for Coach Saban. I mean, that's who doesn't, but most of us stuck around, and we all want to play for Coach DeBoer, and we still want to play for the University of Alabama. And I think the mood right now is great around campus and around the football program, and especially in our class. Being the first class that is being the first class out of Coach Saban's era. There's going to be a lot on our shoulders, and I think we got the class to kind of push through that and keep the tide rolling.
You hit on that. How do you feel about that? Because technically, I mean, you signed when Coach Saban was still the head coach, and then most of y'all signed when Coach Saban was still the head coach. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. Historically, will y'all still be considered Coach Saban's class or DeBoer's? I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just conversation speaking.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe Coach Saban's last class or Coach DeBoer's first class. I don't really know. I think it'll be one of those two. So
Coach Saban's last class or Coach DeBoer's first class both carry a lot of cachet and carry a lot of notoriety. Amari, I've been really appreciating your time, man. I know you've been very, very busy getting ready for baseball and training, and Baylor's academics are very, very strenuous as well. Just put us through your next couple of months. Obviously, next week is signing day. You don't have to deal with that. Will you have any sort of a party per se based on being out of town in December? And then obviously baseball is the focus, but your next couple of months ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, next week I'll kind of sign with my school. Kind of me, Max, Witt, a couple of the other guys are going to sign. Just a thing Baylor wants to do just to recognize all of us, even though we've kind of already signed. So we'll have that, and then, we'll have a break. And then, after that, it'll be straight into baseball, and we'll start scrimmaging and practicing and, getting ready for our season beginning in the middle of March. And as soon as that comes, we'll be rolling with baseball all the way until the end of May. Trying to make a push for the state championship game and, really just trying to get my body ready before I leave and go to, Bama before on May 28th.
May 28th. God, that'll be here before you know it. Are you from your perspective, are you like, okay, I want to soak up my last little time at Baylor, or is it, okay, let me just get to May 28th and be at Bama?
No, definitely that's, I think, another reason I wanted to stay for my last couple months is, just graduate with my classmates. We've been here since 6th grade together. We've been through a lot. And so I think just getting to graduate them, kind of finish out the last couple months with those guys and my friends and stuff like that. And then also help win another state championship in baseball. So I think really those kind of contributed to me wanting to stay my last semester in high school.
What was it like spinning back to December when Coach Saban visited? What was it like? I was told, did he fly the helicopter in there, or was that Kirby Smart?
Kirby did it last year.
Okay. I was told that both days were big days on the Baylor campus.
For sure.
That was awesome. Well, Amari, I've had a lot of fun hanging out with you this evening. I hope our listeners and viewers have enjoyed their time. I want to make sure everybody go subscribe, go follow Amari Cooper, Amari Jefferson at Amari Jefferson 6 on the social media machines. Look, you said excitement. Yay, Alabama has gained around 1,000 new subscribers to their NIL entity. And obviously NIL is not necessarily your focus, but that's got to be a little exciting for you to see. The excitement, I think, is high around Coach DeBoer and his program. Anything that I've left off the table that you think, oh, man, he should have asked me this, or I should have said that?
No, just got a message for the band fans. We ain't going nowhere, and we'll be right back where we were. Roll Tide.
We love that. Roll Tide indeed, and I'll look forward to hopefully to being a part of covering your entire career, man. I really look forward to it. I hope you have a great rest of your night, man.
Thank you. You too.
Yes, sir. That's Amari Jefferson joining us tonight, fresh off his official visit to Tuscaloosa. He was here with Stephen Buamua and Rico Scott. Those three guys coming in, meeting with Kalen DeBoer, meeting with Jamarcus Shepard. Not Jamarcus Washington. They came from Washington. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys today on the Joe Gaither Show. You watched us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. You listened to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on Amazon. We appreciate everybody who subscribed, rating, and reviewed the show. Go out and give Amari Jefferson a follow at Amari Jefferson 6 on social media. You can go tell him, you're excited to see him continue to roll with the Tide and wish him the best of luck with his high school baseball season. I appreciate everybody who's watched us tonight. We're going to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.
Thanks for joining us on today's edition of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central. Keep up with Joe on all his social media pages at Joe Gaither 6. Subscribe, rate, and review the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and be sure to read us daily at BamaCentral.com.